Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Oh, it ain't Tuesday night unless you're here with the final guys. Hello, everybody. You might know if you're watching this live, there's only 3 of us. And you know what? Sometimes it's better to kick the shittiest musician out of your band. So I'm joined tonight by Wolfman Jason Brandt.
Yep.
Purdy Mouth Jack Campese.
Wait.
And I'm my once a douche-coo. So I set through this entire movie. Because tonight, it was said best in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You're going the wrong way.
How does he know where we're going? He's drunk.
So we are going to review 2021's, right? Or 20. It's 21, whatever.
21 sure. Counts. It counts for this year.
The remake of Wrong Turn. And I wonder if they'll remake all the other sequels so Jason will have more to do 10 years down the line.
Jesus, no.
Before we jump in, do you have any like spectacular news you need to share? Nothing? No books coming out of you, Jason?
I'm like 4 chapters away from finishing that, hopefully.
Okay.
We'll
see you in
so
July.
another 3 or 4 years.
I was gonna say.
I hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel for So Bad It's Good. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, that's awesome.
Took a while.
Well deserved. That's a lot of
at least
work.
one video in a year. So
I know the marketing push is insane.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't do you much good.
Well, I can monetize it now and make pennies.
We have all these followers on Monster Men that never get notified about our new videos.
Yeah. By the way, I got to turn on my glasses. Here we go.
Ooh, wow.
Nice. These are nice. I just went to the eye doctor. I should have asked if I could put my prescription lenses in these.
Is that the Purge prescription?
Light up sunglasses. Those are pretty slick.
They're not even sunglasses. There's no shading on these. I don't know what the purpose of these things are.
And yet you own them.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's in the kids' like sunglass basket. I just saw. I was like, oh, cool. These turn on.
I don't know what the purpose of this is. Let me buy them.
You need to turn off your lights at some point.
Knowing my family, this was bought at a yard sale for like 50 cents somewhere in around 2014.
Beautiful.
So before we jump in, who wants to reveal the drinking words?
I'll read them. All right. Thank you, Sheridan. Getting the words in on time. Appreciate it. He didn't make it once, and I'm never going to let him forget it.
I know. Bastard.
Jack, your words are isolated, fort, and politics. Hunter, yours are 7, cannibal, and caves. And mine are meathead, troopers, and torture. How the hell did he know I was going to talk about meathead?
Oh, didn't you?
I have that on, like,
on
Goodreads
Twitter
or
that you
something?
got it. Yeah, I
know,
thought I
maybe.
saw that.
I won't read Tim A's because no one cares.
If he's
And the
stalking
bonus-
you on Goodreads for drinking words, that's really...
I think my Kindle automatically updates, and sometimes I forget to not do it because I don't want people knowing what I'm reading all the time in case they don't like a book.
I saw Jason talking about that goiter in his patient portal. Put a goiter on there.
And the bonus words are Modine, flashback, and log.
And by the way, Sheridan, you should know better. How dare you call Tim Meyer Moppy? All things mop are trademarked by
that's
me.
true.
Can't give that to anybody else. But whatever. You're a loser. So, Jack, kick us off with some good news.
Okay. Hunter, I recall we did a Monster Man that was all about your visit to the Queen Mary.
Yes, that was fun.
That's in like, what's that, Long Beach?
The visit was fun. The episode was torture.
Long Beach, California.
Yes.
The cruise ship that's one of the most haunted places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You went there. You said you saw some weird stuff.
I saw some weird stuff with flashlights, and they had the dowsing rods. But look, they put me on a whole. Once I told them who, I didn't say who I was. You know who I am. I just said, "Hey, I'm a horror writer, and I'd like whatever the coolest room you got." And they put me on one whole side of the ship where nobody else was staying, so I was alone, and it's weird.
Nice. Well, there's going to be not one, but a trilogy of ghost story movies set on the Queen Mary coming up. And the first one is going to star Alice Eve, who is
Was she the maid on Brady Bunch?
yeah. Alice Eve was the blonde in Star Trek II, who played I forget who she played. But
The movie?
She's Out of Your League. She is a good-looking girl.
Short hair?
She has long hair.
Hmm.
But in Star Trek, it was kind of medium.
Okay.
She's a knockout.
All right. Would you say she's a dime?
You're probably following her on our Final Guys Instagram account.
Chances
Follow
are.
every attractive girl ever on there.
Chances
Meanwhile,
are.
she was Star Trek 2. She's probably 73 now.
No, the new Star Trek 2. Star Trek into Doctor.
Oh, I never saw that one. Okay. So I have no idea.
She played Carol Marcus in the new Star Trek, which in the original Wrath of Khan, that's Captain
Kirstie
Kirk's
Alley?
old flame. No, Captain Kirk's
Oh.
old flame.
He had so many. He was an equal opportunity.
It was the mother of his child.
Moonhound.
It was the mother of his child.
He had a kid?
In Wrath of Khan, it's his son.
I like Star Trek. I don't know. I used to watch it all, and it's like gone. It's like
Did I watch Wrath of Khan like twice a year?
Tribbles. I remember Tribbles. Jason is fading.
Anyway, they're going to do announcing one movie about the Queen Mary. Okay. I'm a little worried about the announcing a trilogy because I'm getting a Conjuring vibe on this.
Well, the ship is huge, and there are very specific incidents that lead to, like, you could do a movie all on the haunted pool. You could do a whole movie on when they took a torpedo in the engine room or the boiler room, and all these people died. Like, you could do it. I think there's enough in there. Why not?
Maybe they'll plan 3 and see how the first one goes. I don't know.
Right. Look, I'd watch it. I'll tell you, I'm saying the thing on the Queen Mary now, if you're on there, it's so old and it's made of wood, so everything is warped. So there are no right angles, and so you're just naturally disoriented because your eye is seeing one thing and your body is moving in a certain way, and that alone makes it weird.
I don't know how many good movies we have on like ghost ships and things like that. I'm always interested in them, and then like, well, ghost ship. You know, it's like I don't think it happens all that often. Triangle, maybe that was a good one.
What about Wreck 4?
Oh, I never saw that. The other warning flag I get is, so you've been to the Queen Mary. I've been to the Winchester House. So these are kind of like famous locations for people like us to visit. And then, we're going to make a movie about that place. If we get a Winchester.
I think that's on Netflix now. Although Jason doesn't need
it is, because remember
anywhere.
I watched it because it was free.
Somebody gave me a Blu-ray for Christmas of Winchester.
Not just the DVD. I went all in.
God,
you wouldn't be shocked how cheap it was.
The other caveat on this story is that the director is Gary Shore, who did Dracula Untold.
Oh,
Eesh.
Would we rather Pauly Shore?
Yes, or Dinah Shore.
And Burt Reynolds. Let's get him back too.
All right. The other piece of news is this.
Mm.
There's going to be another Evil Dead movie, but Bruce Campbell has retired. But him and Sam Raimi both own the property, so he's like involved in the production of it. So he said that they're going to start filming in New Zealand, and that it's going to start shooting later this year. And it's going to be the lead is a heroine, a woman in charge who's going to try and save her family.
If Sam Raimi's involved, I'm in.
This isn't a sequel to the remake?
The remake is technically in the world of
the
other Evil Dead because Ash talks after the credits. I don't know. I don't know if this is a reboot or if it's in the same world as the Evil Dead.
I like that movie. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to it.
Yeah, just give me gore and comedy.
I wasn't crazy
Done.
about that remake, but I love the TV show because the TV show was funny.
Yes,
Bruce
I thought the
Campbell.
TV show was great.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know. We'll see. As long as the original crew are involved,
Yeah.
I'll give it a chance.
Get the gang together. But I wasn't a fan of that remake.
Yeah.
I know it's not crappy, but I just like,
I just
saw
felt like
better
I was
versions.
watching it all over again.
but
without
less
but
good.
less good, less gooder. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got for news. That's all the news that's fit to print.
That's it.
That's
All
it.
right.
I'm not wasting
Mama
my
said,
time.
don't pick your nose, but she never told us not to pick movies and voice our bullshit opinions on the public. So get ready for a curation.
We have such sights to show you.
You were good on the button tonight, man.
I got my keyword. I heard it.
I think also you're not distracted by Tim. I think you spend a lot of time gazing at Tim.
The hair, it's hard not to look at it. I mean,
I know.
Let's be real.
And it's a different style every week. I don't know whether I like the Robert Smith from The Cure look more or the fresh out of the shower so I could watch it dry and curl up during the show.
You should do a flock of seagulls one time, have it like come up around.
Oh my God, that would be great.
I like when he does the Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell.
We know it'd be great if we all meet at the Mahoning Theater and get him so drunk and just shave like half of it off while he's like in a semi-conscious state.
Give him a bunch of those weird IPAs that he loves.
Yeah. A little 15% IPA. Enjoy 24 ounces of goodness.
I'll make sure to bring my camera to Scares the Care just in case we can pull something off.
It'd be awesome. All right. Jason, why don't you tell the audience what you watched this week?
Well, did you ever watch the SNL skit Dick in a Box and think, I'd like to see this as a movie?
I
Well,
sing it all the
yes.
time.
Somebody thought that, and they made a movie called The Special.
Oh, God.
I can't wait. I have this movie bookmarked, and I'm cracking up that you actually have watched it before I did.
Ooh.
I'm not exaggerating when I say Dick in a Box. It starts with these two friends at a bar, and one of them is
Whoa.
convinced his wife has cheated on him. So his idiot friend is talking to him about how to get back at her, I guess. How to, I don't know, even the score, whatever stupid shit idiots like this
Get
say.
that dick in the box.
And he takes him to a brothel and says, I'm going to get you the special. And the special is a box with a hole in it that you stick your dick in.
Is it a glory hole?
No, it is a box like a foot by a foot.
So there's not even anything on the other end of the box.
No, it's sitting like on a dresser, and this dude just sticks his dick in it, and he has the best orgasm of his life, and that sends him down a spiral where he just wants to put his dick in this box more and more and more, and bad things happen. I won't spoil. Yeah, it's about that size probably.
Step 1, cut a hole in the box.
I need something to cut
Step
a hole.
2, put your junk in that box.
You see this dude. I got to tell you, even though the way I'm describing it's funny, it's played straight, and the actor, the main guy, is it Davey Rafferty? I don't know how you pronounce his name. He goes for it 100%, and you see him fucking this box over and over and over. Like this dude is banging things this entire movie.
By the way, it's written by James Newman, who's an awesome writer and a great guy.
So I gotta tell you, I actually
I'm
like
intrigued.
this. It is about the fourth time I'm watching him screw around with this box. I'm like, okay, this is gratuitous. Like, for Christ's sake. But
They're just really objectifying that box.
But I really liked the ending a lot. So for all you assholes in the chat who always say I never like the ending, and you're right, I really like this one. And the ending,
Well, it sounds like it's a
elevates the
happy ending.
Yeah, it is. That's a good point.
It's to bring new meaning to the phrase BYOB.
So anyway, I really like the ending, and the movie, as crazy as it is, and weird as it is in the middle, the ending elevates it, and I like it. This movie has no budget. I mean, it's a dude fucking a box for 3/4 of it, and
I got the souvenir take home.
By the way, where can we find this movie?
I think I watched it on Amazon.
It's
All right.
it's on my. It's either Amazon or I think it's Prime. I
Yeah,
swear
I'm
to-
so
I watched
sold
the
on
trailer.
this.
I watched the trailer and I almost watched it, but I watched something else. And now that you've got it, I'll probably watch it next week.
I'd be curious what you guys think. I thought it was good, man. There's no money in it, but I really appreciated that all the
money
actors,
shots.
they just played it straight. Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm adding it right now. I
And
have to watch this.
I didn't do Starship Troopers because Tim and I are, I guess, watching it together. So I'm saving that for next week. But
That makes sense.
I figured I'd watch a guy, fuck a box instead. So
Yeah.
that worked out for me.
By the way, Tim's not here, everybody, because it's his anniversary. So happy anniversary, Tim.
Happy anniversary. Happy
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary. Happy anniversary. All right, Purdy Mouth.
Okay. I was recommended to check out a found footage movie from Korea. I'm gonna maybe mispronounce the first part. Ganjium Haunted Asylum.
Yeah.
So
This is on my watch list.
let's take this for first of all. The rules of discussing a found footage movie is we take it out of the normal movie category and we say, okay, I'm watching a found footage movie. So now that we have those glasses on, how does it rate against other found footage movies? And I would suggest watching this movie. It's a lot of fun. I think maybe the language difference, I can't tell how good or bad they're acting,
Right.
and there's a little bit of character development. Like the main character is like it's a group of people that they have a horror YouTube channel, and they're going to go film like a show in this place that's like on the CNN top like haunted places in the world.
Mhm.
And they actually go to the real asylum to film the movie. And then it's like 3 guys and 3 girls. And then they go there and naturally all hell breaks loose when they're in there. And there's a little bit more to the dynamics between the people. I was genuinely interested, entertained the whole time. And then like in the third act, things go nuts. And there are some things that are really, really well done and other things that are pretty cheesy, but fun. So fun is the main word here. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's definitely a fun watch for a night. So I would say check it out. But again, put on your found footage glasses. But this is I enjoyed this a lot more than like a lot of the other found footage movies I've watched.
The location looks incredible in the picture.
It is.
Yeah.
It's got a cheesiness to it, but it's part of the charm, I think.
It's one of the things I like about found footage is when they go to locations like this. Like you don't need these crazy sets. You just film this shit in real life and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
They also are filming a show, so they put cameras up and they have an excuse for why they're filming. So there's never sort of a moment where you're like, well, why would you keep filming? They cover that right off the bat.
Nice. It's one of my biggest problems with these damn movies.
Yeah. So Jason, watch it so we can talk about it. I had fun.
Oh, by the way, look at this. Tim can't quit us. He's even listening or watching right now.
Oh,
Your wife is calling. Stop.
I've got
All
an
right,
anniversary with my special box after this.
I have an anniversary with this particular beer. This is Wrench IPA from Industrial Arts. This has gotten me through the pandemic. I don't know if I'm a better person for it, but I think I'm a than everybody else with COVID dementia. So thank you, Wrench. And you can pay us money now. That's what I'm going to for money later. Like, that's
we
the
have
model, right?
seen the return of Robot Hunter.
Again?
Yeah, you're all choppy.
It's been a while, but yeah, you're
Yeah.
roboting
Yeah.
out on us.
Am I still good now?
Better.
I'm
You're kinda
better.
back now.
Okay, here we go. It's back. I'm time. Number 2, Stephen King movie I watched that was made in theaters. The Shining. I'm sure you guys have seen this movie. This was
No.
a pleasurable view. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie. More times than possibly I should. And I don't say it's better every time. It's as good as it's going to get. As horror movies go, I look at this is a freaking unicorn for the genre because comes out of nowhere, makes a great horror movie, has Toni Collette, who's a great actor. But we haven't had the best director of the fucking century yet make a movie with a great actor and make a horror movie. It's never happened before. And maybe a Scorsese has one more in him and he can get what's his face, the kid from Titanic.
DiCaprio?
It's like 45, Leonardo him. I don't know who that combination would be nowadays. I don't care if you're a purist to the book. This is a great movie.
I think you need to go yell at somebody to turn off Netflix in your house because you are dying on the vine here, man.
All right. You know what? I'm going to log out. I don't need to say much about The Shining. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Enjoy it because your journey.
Well, Creep Show is next. So
Okay.
I'm still pretty good. I'm rolling.
The Mangler's on the way.
Log back in.
The Mangler.
That goes in my box.
All right. What did I do? The special? All right. I watched another standalone film. It's been kind of nice not watching these shitty series for a week. I watched Alone. I think you'd seen this, right? With the woman driving in
Oh,
the
yes,
car
I
and the
did.
dude's following her.
Yes, I like this.
Yeah, I like this one too. It's kind of a standard thriller with the woman driving down the road and somebody starts screwing with her and following her. In fact, it's very standard, actually, if you look at it that way. Not a bunch of big twists, just this woman is trying to get away from this psycho who's following her. But it's a good movie. I had very little to complain about, really. The only issues I thought were everybody acts really dumb in this movie, and that's like how she keeps getting in trouble is either she's doing something dumb or everyone around her is doing something dumb. But I thought all the acting was great. Bad guy's good. Some cool survival moments. Looks like $1 million. Just all around a solid movie. I don't know that this is a top 10 list kind of thing by any means, but if you're looking for something to watch with a little cat and mouse, and I love cat and mouse on the road things, I always have. Anything that's like The Hitcher, I'm in.
Yeah.
And while this doesn't have the insanity of The Hitcher, it's kind of got the same idea behind it. So I thought it was a lot of fun.
That guy, the bad guy, is from The Outsider, the Stephen King miniseries.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where I recognized him.
And he's also in Ozark.
Ozark.
Okay, yeah. Mark Menchaca.
Sounds like a
Menchaca.
social disease. I got the Menchaca. By the way, when you said this movie didn't have a lot of big twists, I thought you said something else. And I was like, what? I can't believe he's saying this.
No, that's
Okay.
No, they were regular sized twists.
Regular size twists. Purpley nurpley twists. What's your number 2, Jack?
My number 2 has two of the great. You were talking about the great directors. This movie has two of the great actors of our time, Bella Thorne and Mickey Rourke.
Oh, I am all up in Bella Thorne. So yes, and Mickey Rourke.
wow. Just had to
So-
phrase it like that, huh?
Yeah, I think that might have been inappropriately phrased. I'm all up in her grill. How's that sound?
So I heard that there was a movie. It's called Girl with Bella Thorne and Mickey Rourke, and I'm like, sign me up right now. Now, I only know Bella Thorne from her internet fame as being, an internet babe, and the fact that she's in The Babysitter is really the only movie I've ever seen her in. I just know her as being a current celebrity for kind of. Well, she was the Disney Channel kid or something like that, or
yeah, I know her from Disney with my kids.
yeah, I just know her as like the new crop of, internet famous girls.
Yeah, I only knew her from The Babysitter on, and then I've heard her name since, but I barely
And
recognize her.
she's big on what's that? OnlyFans.
She broke it.
So
Good.
the good news is this movie was better than I expected it to be. I would put it as sort of like video store rental quality. She's
right.
basically returns to her hometown. She lives with her mother, and she's going back to kind of seek revenge on her father, who has kind of done her wrong. But when she gets there, her father's been murdered, and she's got to deal with the sheriff of the town, Mr. Mickey Rourke, and some of his cronies. And there's more to everything, obviously, than meets the eye. So it's kind of like a revenge flick, and Bellator's a little bit of a badass in it, but I thought it was going to be more of a badass movie. I thought it was going to be more like that movie Revenge, where she gets super violent. She doesn't, but it was fun, and her acting I thought was better than I expected it to be. I was expecting real cardboard, and I was like, oh, gee, I'd actually like to see her in more stuff.
No, she's getting. I mean, look, she's been doing it. She's young. She's like 23 or something like that. So she's got room to grow.
Yeah, I saw her in one of the Amityville movies. That's right. I just remembered that.
Yes. Oh, that was terrible.
Mickey Rourke's face just looks really odd these days. Like he's just been hit so many times.
I don't think it's being hit. I think it's a little nip tuck here and there.
No, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Big Sin City, I think they dragged him along.
Yeah, he's awesome in Sin City.
He is.
The ending's a little bit of a letdown. I would have liked to seen a little bit more, and then it kind of goes on a little bit longer than I would have liked. But like I said, this is one of those like blockbuster, rent it for the night. Oh, that's okay. And then somebody else talks about it. Oh yeah, I saw that once. That was okay. Like it, right? Disposable rental. It's fun. It's worth checking out for the fact you want to watch Bella Thorne and Mickey Rourke in a movie.
Yeah. You could watch worse.
Yeah,
by far. All right.
Let's see how this goes with your internet here.
I'm gonna try again.
You're bad, dude.
All night? I don't know what to do.
Last 5-10 minutes.
So I watched, it's been on Shudder, and I keep looking at it. I'm like, let me just finally put it on Incident in a Ghost Land. But the name sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've heard of it.
So I like the IMDb breakdown. A mother of two who inherits a house is confronted with murderous intruders on the first night in their new home. And boy, is that crazy. And fights for her daughter's lives. 16 years later, when the daughters reunite at the house, things get really strange. I beg to differ. This movie was really strange from the get-go. And only got stranger as it went along. And at one point, I couldn't figure out if I was watching a time slip movie.
Yeah.
Look, the movie looks really cool. The performances are actually really good. There's no humor in this movie whatsoever. So they're playing this straight up. I will tell you, the biggest piece of fiction in here is the girl who makes a shit ton of money writing horror novels. No. So other than that, I thought the interplay between the two girls is cool because one girl, when they were young, gets brutally raped by a monster of a human being. He kind of reminded me of the dude from 16 Cameras or 13 Cameras. 13
Oh,
cameras.
yeah.
He's had kind of that vibe going. And then mom stays in the house where they had these intruders that they murdered, supposedly. And then the other daughter goes on, who's got a lot of fears and phobias. She goes on to make fortune in writing horror novels. Bullshit. And then she comes home to visit after getting a strange call, and bizarre stuff happens. I really liked this movie in the beginning. I thought like the home invasion part was actually terrifying, watching these woman and these two daughters try to fight these savages off. As the movie went on, it just, to me, it started to just fall apart. And I was like, I don't even care. I don't even know what I'm watching anymore, which was too bad. But look, say you're recovering from coronavirus, you're at home, you're chilling out, watching TV, just pop it on. You'll be fine. You can fade in and out, and I think you'll be fine.
All right. I think that movie, if you're going to like it or not, hinges on what you think of the twist.
Yeah.
If you like the twist, you're going to like the movie. If you don't, you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm a bad twist.
I like big twists and I cannot lie.
All right. I'll go while you go punch your internet provider. And I read a book. I've been reading a lot of books this year, actually. It's kind of amazing for me. It was Meathead 2 by Steve Barnard.
3 just came out.
I know. I didn't even get to read that one yet. You know, I think I described the first one as pure Barnard, and if you're a listener of the show, you've heard us describe this man's taste. This just reads perfectly like Barnard, just insane, violent mayhem.
Yeah.
And I dig it. And it is so something. If I was going to say, what would Steve Barnard write? It would be Meathead and Meathead 2. And I'm assuming Meathead 3.
The dance scene,
Oh, yeah.
I laughed out loud.
It's hilarious. Just this dude massacres people in every which way. Like, I can just see him gleefully sitting at the keyboard trying to come up with the most grotesque ways to kill people.
Yeah.
And he pulls it off. So if you're a fan of like old school slashers, no holds barred, the language is exactly what it's very 80s. There's nothing PC about any of this. It's just
thank God.
balls to the wall insanity. So if that sounds like that's your thing, Meathead and Meathead 2, you're gonna freaking love it.
Trauma would have a ball with that back in the day.
Yeah, for real. It kind of makes me think of oh damn it, now I can't think of the slasher that came out last year that was where they cut the girl in half. She's hanging upside down.
Oh, Terrifier?
Terrifier. It kind of reminds me of that in the just insane ways people are being killed.
He loves that movie.
There you go.
Shocker.
Yeah, I think it was like $1 I paid for this. He's not charging like anything. So
no, it's crazy.
Go get it.
Worth a buck.
He just wrote in the chat, best show ever.
Yeah, I can't wait to read 3. I heard that something was done horribly to me in part 3, so I can't wait.
Oh, you're in it? Nice.
I hope. He better not have lied. If he lied, I'm going to eviscerate this book.
Do you think that Meathead 3 is his creature?
We can only hope. Meathead 3 introduces Archie Bunker.
He ain't it, Meathead. All right.
You go talk. I'm getting my other beer from the windowsill.
Okay.
Go disconnect everyone's computers too.
I watched a movie, 2018 movie called Look Away. And this is another video store level movie. It's about this girl, Maria, who's like an alienated high school kid. Although, like, she's a knockout. Like, it's one of those ones where you're like, why is she being picked on? She's like gorgeous. But whatever. So she gets picked on and she's whatever. Suddenly, like, she notices that her reflection in the mirror, like, is conscious and she can talk to it. And basically, at one point, because she's like being so picked on and persecuted, and her father's a plastic surgeon and just makes her self-worth feel like garbage. Mira Sorvino plays the mother. Jason Isaacs plays the father. So she ends up with this supernatural reflection of hers. They switch places. And so now the more confident reflection personality goes in. And so naturally she's more confident, she's more sexy, and she can exact revenge on people. It is not so much a horror movie as I expected. It's more of kind of like a psychological thriller with supernatural stuff. But then towards the end, it kind of ramps up a little bit with the horror. I think it's like an hour and 45 minutes. They probably could have knocked a few minutes off this sucker. But again, it's on Prime. It's video store level. If you're looking for something to watch, you will be entertained by it. The ending's a little bit weird. like I said, I was entertained. It was good enough. I would, I'll never watch it again, but good performances, and that we like to watch movies like this and then move on.
I forgot until I started looking at the pictures. I saw this movie. Yeah. And I remember it was one that was like, yeah, why is this girl being picked on? And what high school looks like this?
Yeah.
Like,
That's almost every high school I ever see in movies. I'm like, that doesn't exist.
It's like in Canada, and they have the prom on ice, so everybody's on ice skates, and she doesn't know how to skate. So there's a part where they're picking on her and like dragging her across the ice, and I'm like, in what school would there be no chaperones like jumping in and breaking this up the second it started, especially with kids with sharp blades on their feet?
Yeah, nowadays especially.
Any girl who looked like her, if someone was picking on her, 80 meatheads would come out of the woodwork to defend her, to try to have a chance with her.
Yes, exactly.
Like that girl would be fine in high school.
She'd be on OnlyFans.
Yeah, because it's almost distracting because she's gorgeous. Like, so you're exactly right. Like, even if there were some people picking on her, there'd be 100 guys who had her back and would be like, I'm going to be there for you.
Yeah, there'd be a million white knights just running across that ice, like no skates, nothing. Yeah,
the Hanson brothers just like checking everybody.
Hanson brothers.
But anyway, it was I had 3 video store rental fun. Don't watch it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you got through the night and it was okay.
All right, that's good enough for me. Take it, pretty girl. Good enough. Fine. I read another book. This one I wanted to read last year, and I didn't get around to it. My Sister, the Serial Killer, by I'm going to destroy this name. Yinkin Brathwaite.
Yes, that's how you say it.
Yeah. I think it's perfect. So this, because I've seen a lot of hype about this book, and I was like, all right, let's see what the hype is. These are short, punchy chapters, and it's basically there's 2 sisters, one who's a nurse who is tall and kind of gangly and not exactly aesthetically pretty, and then her younger sister who is drop dead gorgeous, and people just throw everything at her. And they grew up in a household with a father who was abusive, quite abusive, and cheated on their mother, and he's passed away. And it's a lot of, there's love and jealousy going on. The younger sister is a fucking lunatic, and anytime she has a problem with a guy, they end up dead. And it's the older sister who's always trying to cover up for her, until the doctor that the older sister wants falls in love with her sister. It's a really damn good book. It's so far one of the best reads I've had in 2021. It's early yet, but I've read 15 books already.
Jesus.
Almost done with the House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malloran, which is that's one of those books you read it and you just go, I'll just stop writing this. Let me stop pretending and wasting everyone's time.
Wow. Why don't you ever listen to that
excellent.
voice?
I don't know, because I keep wanting to foist my cryptid garbage on people. So yeah, if you're looking for it's a very quick read. It's set in Africa, so you also get a little bit of the politics and sociology and of Africa, which is very different than here, where we are in America, but also very similar. So it's a great read. I'm so happy that I read it. I'm pissed that I didn't read it last year.
Cool.
I let it sit around too long, but maybe like wine, that's what made it better.
Damn, I'd never even heard of that. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was everywhere at one point, and I was like, all right, I picked it up, and then it just got buried by my stupid pile.
15 books already.
That's including Fever Dream by George R.R. Martin. That was not tiny whatsoever.
That book's going to take me my whole life to read.
Probably. I'll read the final chapter over your grave.
I literally read like 10 to 20 pages in one day maximum.
Well, if you do 20 pages a day, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
It's before I go to bed, so it depends on how.
right. Like me on the weekends, like when I wake up in the morning, I start getting on my little exercise bike and I'll read like 50 pages on the bike. You almost knock a book out right there.
I have to read this comment from Lutsky for the listeners. House at the bottom of the lake is Mallerman's future.
By the way, I tweeted out to Josh how that book almost derailed my writing day, and he said, "Thank you. That means a lot coming from you." Stick it.
He was like, Google, who is Hunter
But he
Shea?
knows who I am. All right.
He's a cool dude. I'm done. I'm tapped out.
You're done. Jack, you done?
Dunzo.
All right. All right. I guess we're going to move on to the main feature. Wrong turn.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Okay. I was just looking at comments and everything. So Jack, as always, can you break down Wrong Turn?
I don't know if I have any kind of voice I can do for this one. So
You don't have to. Redneck. Just talk
So
like
this
Jason's
is-
family.
this is
Speak like me.
this is supposedly a remake of Wrong Turn.
Yeah, supposedly.
But let's put the word remake in quotes, and we'll talk about that later. It is a group of 20-somethings,
They're 20-somethings, yes, because they all have careers and stuff.
and they're down in like, I don't know, West Virginia or something like that. And they're going to go hiking in the Appalachian Trail, but they go to town, and the townspeople are kind of mean to them and telling them not to go there and picking on them and being all politically incorrect with them because they're very modern and like now every advertisement you see has representation of every possible thing that could possibly be. This movie made a caricature of every single trope or whatever.
I think the casting director had just taken a class in inclusion and diversity.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly.
Well, they just got done casting Black Christmas 2020, so they had to step into this.
So your super inclusive, extra special emphasis caricatures go to town. And then after the townspeople kind of treat them rudely, they go and they give them the advice of stick to the trail and don't deviate. But what did they do? They actually make a wrong turn.
What's
And
the abandoned fort?
They encounter a weird clan of people who live in the woods and do mean things to them.
Do mean things. That's a nice way of putting it.
I think you just Stephen King that ending. You nailed the line, and then you had to do 2 more chapters.
By the way, when I was watching this movie in like the first 50 minutes, I had such this is making Jason's blood boil. You can probably see the veins in your temples just throbbing while you're watching.
As soon as they showed all the principal characters, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So what did you think of this movie, Wolfman?
Well, I got to tell you, I was expecting woke turn after the first 15 minutes.
That's a good term.
Yep.
I was like, oh, God, here we go. But I will say this in its credit, even though the cast was definitely like, okay, we need, the minority gay couple. We need blah, blah, blah. It didn't go into it all that much. It wasn't like there was some crazy political message they were just hammering over your head the whole time. So it's like, if you're going to have stuff like that, this is how you do it. You just put them in a movie and they're just characters and it's just who they are. And they're not just constantly bringing attention to it. Just a couple lines, that were funny. Like
they threatened you with it, but then they didn't actually.
But then they didn't actually do it. So it was like, who cares? Whatever. That's fine. It didn't bother me the way I expected. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be brutal. As we've already said, I don't understand why this is called Wrong Turn. I don't get it. This is nothing to do with Wrong Turn, except it's in the woods.
I think it's purely marketing.
Yeah, is Wrong Turn such a big franchise that we're trying to like get?
Well, the guy wrote Wrong Turn wrote this.
Oh, well, there you go. So, all
Yeah.
right. Somebody who said this, Tina Edwards said its original title, Wrong Turn, The Foundation makes more sense. I agree with that. That would make a little more sense.
Or just The Foundation.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah. So the title's misleading, extremely misleading. The movie was, I didn't think it was all that good. I didn't hate it by any means, but I had a lot of problems with kind of the way the story was going down and some of the twists and turns and like particularly the end we can get to in spoilers. But I went into this with pretty high expectations and I thought it was okay, like at best. It wasn't.
Right.
It didn't blow my skirt up.
You wear skirts. So Jack.
So I too, the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie was like, what the hell is this pile of garbage? When they're in the town, then they get out into the woods and I'm starting to hate everybody in the party.
Oh yeah.
And then sort of the locals strike or whatever. And then like once you get into sort of the world of the locals, whatever, the forest people.
The Foundation.
You're talking about my people here. Let's be easy.
Yeah, the Hicks.
I just kept watching this going, oh my God, I can't believe one of these people will grow up to write a book and do a podcast.
I thought I definitely had problems with it, but I thought it got a lot better once they got there. And then suddenly I was like, okay, now I'm enjoying this movie more. And I sort of, again, I think I was on this is kind of like video store rental, but it's rescuing itself. And then I actually thought that the ending of the movie, the very end of the movie was great.
Like the last shot.
Yeah. Like
the last shot is
the
so
best
good.
post-credit scene ever.
Yeah. Great last shot.
Yeah. Well, I'm like you guys. If I just happened to watch this movie, like pick it on Netflix or something, and it wasn't for the show, I would have turned this off. By the time, probably by that bar scene, because I got a lot of my relatives down south. You don't act like a dick down there. You don't act like a dick anywhere if you don't belong, and they were schmucks who deserve.
Yeah, that scene was rough. I was hoping everybody would die after that.
Yeah, I was like going, all right, yeah, you know what? I'm rooting for the Brants. You fuck those interlopers up.
That's what this should have been called.
The Brants. This movie, first of all, God, the inclusion and diversity. So you've got the white girl and the African American boyfriend who was Wilson Jr. from the Seahawks, the quarterback. Then you've got the average white guy is the biggest douchebag on the face of the earth. And then you had the gay couple. One was Hispanic and the other, I believe, was Indian. So you covered Asians there too. So that was fun. That was a brilliant move right there. You covered a lot of bases.
Oh yeah.
They all suck. I felt no sympathy for any of them whatsoever. Matthew Modine, love seeing him in this.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Last time I saw him was in Stranger Things. And I want to see more of Modine now.
Yeah, he's great.
This movie did get better as it went along. And after a while, I started overcoming my glee knowing that Jason was squirming and pissed. And then I was like, oh, actually, I'm kind of digging this movie. I loved but I liked the change that they did where it's not just some hillbillies in a house, it's an entire civilization in the woods. I thought the foundation, once they got to the foundation, I thought all that stuff was really cool. I love the very end. I thought that last scene was great. So there was enough in there for me. It's just, I liked it way more that night. And then the more I think about it, the more I pick at threads and get pissed at certain things. So I'm kind of like you. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You know,
it doesn't have the charm of Wrong Turn.
No,
doesn't have the douche cue. That's what
Well,
it's
yeah.
missing.
Yeah.
It's missing a douche cue.
So I'll say the very, very beginning when Modine shows up and he's looking for his daughter, I thought, okay, this is an interesting take because we never see people looking for whoever's been killed by the mutants. So I thought,
Right.
okay, cool. And then when it goes to the the millennial crew from hell, it's like
6 weeks earlier. Oh, jerks.
When they go into the town though, and they were showing like dilapidated houses and trucks that were looking like shit. They had animals, that they like a deer they just killed on it. I'm like, they're trying to make it look like this back ass where it's town. I was like, it's home. What's the problem? Like I was like, you just drove by my house and you're trying to make it look like
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like, yeah, you're setting up a scene that is not what you think it is. You fucking
But they
Hollywood elite.
they are creating the kind of town where minority people would feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I will say
Anybody would feel uncomfortable. I'll take you to one, Jack. You'll feel uncomfortable.
I totally agree with you, but I'm saying like, especially
And you're the
in
majority. Old white guy.
I would say though, in movie language, that's the quickest way to be like, okay, we're going to take these people and put them in this place, and that they're going to.
For sure, it's totally what they're doing. I was just saying, I was laughing at it.
Yeah.
They haven't showed anything bad like at all, but it's supposed to give you like this deliverance vibe.
Yeah.
But
y'all best get out of here now.
You mentioned the part in the bar where they're being dicks to those guys.
Yes.
One, if you want to get killed, go into a shit kicker bar and start making fun of the biggest shit kicker in there. He's got 6 guns in the gun rack in the back of his truck. Like,
yeah,
don't do that. And 2, when she goes on the little speech about how all of them have these amazing jobs and this guy works for a nonprofit working on renewable energy, I was like, oh my God. Did somebody set off a bomb in that bar, please?
Get a pool cue across your fucking face. Just saying that.
That would get you beat up faster than anything.
This is the worst thing they could have done.
The yellow tint in your eyes shows liver damage. You should see a doctor.
That would also get you punched.
Like, just look at the rest of me. Of course I have liver damage. I'm drinking my face off every day.
I used to live in Massachusetts up near Gloucester, and the bar that's in A Perfect Storm was right near where we were. And I wasn't there, but my buddy Kevin and some other guys, we were way a million years ago when we were young. They went in there one day to get beers, and one of their friends, who's an idiot, brought a beer in with him, and all the locals were like giving him dirty looks. This is a fisherman bar in Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And when the woman, like who is the woman from the movie who runs the bar, like told him like, you can't bring that in here, throw it away. And he basically said something like, screw you. And like every guy in that place got up and was going to tear him apart. And then my friend Kevin grabbed his beer, threw it in the garbage, and went, "We're sorry, we're cool," and like de-escalated it.
Right.
Like, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, "Oh God, yeah." They would the second thing they said, they would have gotten the crap.
Oh, yeah.
But we can get into spoilers as to there's
Jack,
more to it.
We live this, you and I. You have to, when you come into these situations, you have to assess and address. We're at that game in San Francisco watching the Giants play the Oakland A's. Who do I run into in the bathroom? A fucking gang of Crips. All there coming up from Oakland to watch the game. And what did I do? I bought them all beers on my corporate credit card, and they fucking love me. So you got to get along with people.
Remember those garlic fries?
Those garlic fries are great, and our rooms were disgusting. They were rank the next day. But yeah, I was in the bathroom taking a piss. I had a Piazza jersey on when he was on the Mets, and he was on the A's at the time, and they're fucking ragging on me and fucking hitting me while I'm taking a pee. And I just started talking to them. Like, hey, you guys want to drink? I bought like 10 guys beers, and then we all good with the Crips.
Had you bought beers at that wrong turn bar, it would have cost you 48 cents.
Exactly. It doesn't take much to be kind, to ingratiate yourself to the fucking people. I don't know.
I actually can't wait to get the spoilers on this because there's a couple of things that come up in their conversations with the Foundation that I had a problem with. I can't wait to discuss that.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it. We're fine. We're all so okay. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler.
So they make their wrong turn. They're walking. suddenly a log comes out of nowhere, and
Jesus
again,
Christ.
like in that alien what are they, Prometheus, when the spaceship is rolling at them and they run straight instead of just to the side.
Yeah, don't go sideways.
They all do that. And look, I thought there was some really good gore there, and I thought they picked their spots where they held restraint and where they
the
showed
smashed
things.
head looked good.
Yeah, there was some good midsummer like head smashing and stuff. But that happens. Then the guy gets caught with a chain and pulled into a pit. And actually, one jump scare that actually made me jump was the snake in the pit.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good jump scare. But then they get taken by the Foundation and they're on trial. And they're accusing them of murder. And what did they say? That the chain was because they were trying to trap dinner or something?
Yes.
Yes.
And then they get away from other animals from eating
those woods were full of traps for humans by those people. And they launched a tree at these people and killed one of them.
Oh, but woke dummy said we can't accuse them. We don't know their intentions.
It's like, do you think that tree just accidentally came firing through the freaking forest?
Yeah. Can we talk about the log? Because that annoyed the shit out of me right from the jump. I'm like, okay, first of all, when it's coming down the hill, how does it not hit any other tree?
There's a million trees. There's not a clear, it's not like a runway.
That's ridiculous. Second, when it kills the guy, they're like, oh, a tree fell down. I'm like, it's a log, you idiots. All the branches are cut off. What do you think happens when a tree falls down?
What did they use to launch that thing?
Yeah, that's true. That was ridiculous.
It was. I thought it was cool to kill someone off right away. I was like, oh, thank God, one less jerk.
Yes.
Too bad we didn't get everybody. It was a cool way to kill somebody. It just didn't make sense.
It made no sense at all.
If you had like a log swinging from above, like they hit one of those trip wires, that made total sense. But
then, so when they claim that they capture the guy by mistake.
Yeah.
Why were they carrying him on like a spit, like Han Solo with the Ewoks?
After
easier to carry him that way. Yeah. Yeah, they were full of shit. So as pure as their society is, they're just as much a bunch of fucking liars as anyone in Congress or the judicial system here in America. They're just as corrupt.
But now there was some really good like gore moments, like the gouging the eyes, and there was head smashing and stuff. So I appreciated that, and there was a couple of like CG blood things, but there was some really good practical effects going on.
Yeah.
There really were. That's a good point.
I love the whole setup with Matthew Modine getting hooked up with a couple of locals to help him get his way up there, and they are dead so fucking fast.
Okay, that brings me to my biggest problem with the way this movie looks. It took about 3/4 of the way in till I realized what was bothering me. If something is not in the frame in this world, it doesn't exist. So when those guys are taking Matthew Modine up, there's this giant tree stump thing in the air, right? Hanging 15 feet. When you're in the woods, you know what you can see? Something huge hanging 15 feet in the air. You could see it from a mile away. And they walk right, but because it wasn't in the frame, you didn't see it. When the log is coming down the hill, there weren't other trees in the frame. So there aren't any trees in this giant runway of a path that this thing goes down. So that kind of bothered me that nobody saw anything unless it was in the frame of the movie.
And those two guys knew that the Foundation had booby trapped the woods. And one idiot, it automatically falls in a hole. Right. The other gets stomped by that, whatever that thing is.
I did like when the trap hit the guy, and then Matthew Modine goes over and is like, hey, you okay?
Can you hear me in the hole? Yeah, that was kind of funny.
What do you think of the eye burning and the whole blind people?
I don't like that. I don't like blind.
I will say, I'm guessing the writing's credit, that kind of made it clear that these are terrible people. They're pretending to be like these ethical, we're doing things our way. You're the violent ones. And then she goes down this cave and there are like 100 people down there who've been blinded.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I like about this movie, because it's like, oh, hipsters are assholes. Oh no, hillbillies are assholes. No, the foundation are assholes. No, they're the good guy. They're the good. No, everybody is potentially an asshole. And
Except
you know
Matthew
what?
Modine. He's the
Except Matthew
only
Modine.
character in it who's ethical in any way, shape, or form.
And I'm going to say that for life in general.
When they're escaping, Modine and his daughter, and she comes across her friend who's only been blinded. He's only been blinded for 6 weeks. He's been in the cave, and she executes him. like he's been, like all his limbs are cut off, and he has no eyes, no tongue.
Well,
like,
look, he's going to be a hindrance.
They weren't going to get him out. They, you know what I mean? He was going to live the rest of his life, and that nobody reacted like what that cave would actually smell like when they went into it.
Ugh.
Well, we found out doing that was probably a good thing, because apparently when she gets back to society, she tells no one. No National Guard go up, no state police.
No.
Nobody goes up. they just leave them alone in the mountains.
Yeah, you would think that the entire friggin' National Guard would be up there.
Nope. She escapes, tells nobody. It's cool.
No
no harm, no foul.
They just would have told her it was fake news. They never would have gone up anyway.
Now, the leader of the foundation, he was in American Psycho. He's the guy that what Patrick Bateman is comparing business cards with.
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago.
I only knew that because I saw it on YouTube or something.
He reminded me of Jonathan. Is it Jonathan Frakes, number 2?
Yes, I totally was getting a Frakes vibe. Now, you knew something was up with him because of his haircut.
But that's a great haircut. You don't get that by just like a little stone tool cutting your hair.
He did not have I live in the woods society haircut. He had supercuts, the men's regular.
He looked great. He was a handsome fella.
Yeah.
He was definitely the alpha because of, maybe Russell Wilson Jr. could have taken over, but no.
Now, the boyfriend, I forget his name.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
I was calling him the communist. Because he went on like that like Marxist rant when they were in bed.
Yes, when they were in bed.
Yes.
When they were in bed and he was talking about what he wanted to do with his life or whatever, I'm going, nobody in the world talks like this. Ever. Even when you're laying in bed with your girlfriend talking about what you want to do with your life, you don't talk like this. This clearly is setting something up.
I'm beginning to think maybe they do. They either talk like that or they talk like Cardi B.
That speech was so preposterous. And then when he goes to the foundation and he loves the society there, even though they're cruel, horrible people,
Foreshadowing.
it almost made me wonder if this was like an anti-woke movie and they were making fun of these people.
Well, you can say that. You can say this is an anti-woke movie.
If they weren't going for that, then that is just really bad. But it was kind of the impression I got.
Well, now we find out that the rednecks in the bar were actually trying to shoo them away so that they wouldn't get into danger, and that they really were rednecks with a heart of gold. So again,
you're right. I saw my doctor. I do have a bad liver. I'm like, we don't have to go that far.
So
say
really,
I'm here to help.
They were the woke people were misjudging them.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Everyone was misjudging everybody.
Chad mentioned something that killed me too. They were up there for 6 weeks, and all of a sudden she's Legolas with the bow and arrow.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you would have thought they went through Green Beret training for a decade with as badass as they were. By the time Odin gets up there,
well, Russell Wilson's beard—that was like a 6-month beard, not 6 weeks. By the way,
everything the 6 week. I understand that they were trying to get some time passage without too much that Matthew Modine wouldn't have. The trail wouldn't have gone cold, but to buy we drank the Kool-Aid and we're part of the society after 6 weeks, was very hard to swallow.
Yeah, but damn, she was fun to watch.
This guy is supposed to be smart enough to be running the society hidden in the woods, but he can't tell that she's not into banging him 5 minutes after he blinded her friend and killed her other friend.
Yeah, what does it matter?
Yeah, okay.
He's not into the emotional attachment. He's all about you're just a possession. But she was like,
he would have chained her to the bed or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess it helped. It turned her into Katniss with Wolverine's sensibilities. Because, god damn, she was crazy.
Well, she shoots Matthew Modine so that we're, the red herring that she's one of them. Mm. And then it turns out she shot him, but she's so good with the bow that she didn't mortally wound him or anything.
All I know is when this movie ended, because I was still in the whole like I thought this was a woke movie that was trying to disguise itself, and I literally said to my TV out loud, alone in my living room, "Ha! Still the white girl lives, losers." I said, "You failed."
Okay, let's talk about it. So the ending of the movie, her and Matthew Modine escape.
Yes.
Fast forward, I don't know how long, but she's pregnant
With Modine's
working for her
baby.
father. And then
They seemed really close.
Suddenly, the leader guy is back with the little girl and his henchmen, and she agrees to go with them if he promises not to hurt her family. They agree. They get in the RV. They cook up some meth. They go. And then credits are rolling, and you're like, oh, Jesus. And then suddenly the car swerves, crashes, and she jumps out and kills the guys brutally and walks away. And I'm like, this is why when a movie starts weak and ends strong, it gets such a better grade.
And it had two good endings, because there's the one part where she's talking to him at the dinner table and he murders her entire family, and then she sticks the knife in his skull. I thought that was cool too.
Had it been real, but it was all a dream.
I know, but I'm saying if you ended it there, that was also good.
That would have been awesome.
The dream, and then
I cut them slack on the dream. I visibly was like, ugh. But I was like, at least we got like a good couple of kills in that.
Yeah.
So
we just spent this entire time talking about everything ridiculous about the movie, but that ending kind of lifts you up a little bit, which is what
absolutely
like one good shot can do.
Yep. By the way, did you watch it all the way past the credits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they replay the scene of the car crashing and everything, but there's no sound.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
I'm sitting at 5 minutes of it. I'm going, all right, what's going to be different? Nothing.
I was wondering what the heck, because I fast forward through and then
sat there the whole time going.
I actually checked to see if I had accidentally hit rewind.
Yeah. I kept waiting for like the founder guy to come out and kill the little girl or kill the I'm like, no, they're just going to replay it with no sound. But, all right, fine.
Yeah.
So you think we'll get a sequel where the boyfriend is now the leader of the foundation?
It's set up. Well, we didn't see main guy killed necessarily. He could be in there kind of hurt, dazed.
He could be in there making stupid decisions still, like he did throughout the entire movie. It's possible.
Where did he get those slacks and that nice shirt?
Well, they would go into town, so
that's true.
Yeah, so they did use vehicles, I guess, rarely.
Yeah,
because they had that RV, and I'm like, well, I thought you were against electricity and shit.
Well, they would go into town and sell bracelets and stuff. So
yeah,
because they need money in the woods, I guess. Like, I don't know.
I didn't get that either.
I didn't really understand all of it, but yeah.
Yeah, why were they in the town if they're self-sufficient living up in the mountains?
And they hate civilization.
That makes no sense.
They had to get supplies.
But you shouldn't need. I don't buy that. It was to show like, oh,
they had to get arrows.
Girl is the nice one who buys a bracelet from the fucking girl who looks like she should be in The Hills Have Eyes. I wouldn't buy jack shit from that girl. I wouldn't be mean. I just wouldn't engage with her.
The main girl from the foundation was actually well cast. She came off as kind of a good Hills Have Eyes kind of.
Oh God, totally. That you, Papa Jew. Get that baby.
I did want to. One more thing I wanted to laugh at before we get out of here. I liked how the rednecks wanted to scare off Matthew Modine by just beating the brakes off him.
Yeah,
like that was their whole plan.
Yeah. We'll get you out of town in a body bag.
He was very thin.
Chad just mentioned they did the obligatory like nod to cannibal movies, which he goes,
yes,
we're getting the movie tonight. Oh, it's the cannibals or whatever.
Yeah. Look, it had its moments. The movie definitely had its moments. It's not a wrong. Like my wife was like, "Oh, it's just like the others." I was like, "No,
No,
it is not like the others." I said, "In some ways, it's better than a lot of the others. In other ways, it's not at all."
This is one that if it shows up as Shudder or Netflix, it's a no brainer to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if it had been like rent it for $20, premium, you would be like, "What did I just drop my money on?"
See, we need Jack Ketchum to still be alive and write a movie about the Foundation, because I think this is go in line with The Woman and that stuff that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, there is a cool idea in here. It shouldn't be called Wrong Turn, and two, I don't know. There were some choices made that were a little interesting.
Welcome to the horror genre. That's the way it goes.
I can't wait to watch Starship Troopers 3 next.
Oh God, you got a break for a week. Enjoy it.
It has been nice.
So next week, we're not sure what we're going to watch. I've brought up The Vigil, which is a movie about some person who dies, and the Jewish ritual is a guy has to sit with the dead body overnight. So I brought that one up. Maybe that'll be it. Or hit us up on Facebook and Twitter and tell us something else you think we should watch. How about that?
Sure.
There you go. Or we discovered, like last week, after we signed off, we realized Wrong Turn was out. So
yeah, we can do whatever we want because nobody fucking pays us for this.
Exactly.
We have no boss.
Should we put out early what we're doing for 200?
No, Tim has to be here for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to give people time if they want to.
Episode 200 will be the last Tuesday of March, I do believe. So bring your booze because
I'll be bringing mine.
And I'm working later hours now. I'm going to have to start drinking while I'm on driving. But whatever. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, great idea.
So, yeah. Until then, come back next Tuesday, why don't you? And, if you're not here on a Tuesday, watch us on a Wednesday. Listen to us on a Thursday. Tell your friends on a Friday. And on Saturday, fucking drink and jerk off. Good night, everybody.
What?
Can't argue with that.